It's time for Community Matters, a service of TCB Broadcasting, and it's sponsored by Vidalia Federal in Lyons and Vidalia, Todd Paget Housing Center in Claxton. Now let's see what's happening in our community with host Tony Doc Wardlaw.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to this edition of Community Matters. I'm your host, the Doc, Tony Wardlaw, and we are here this morning on, yes, another beautiful Wednesday morning. It's a little bit cooler outside, which is the way I like it. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's just right. This is my time of year. And I'm so happy to have you with us on this morning. And you are blessed because we have in the studio with us the one and the only, the beautiful Miss Senecca Underwood. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Now, in case you're wondering who Miss Senecca Underwood is, you've most likely seen her as she has been making her way around the cities, our county, and abroad in our community. She's one of those behind-the-scenes jewels that is doing a lot of things to help bring things together. One of the unsung heroes. Does that about sum it up?
You're way too kind. You're too kind.
Well, you wear a lot of different hats. And as I said, ladies and gentlemen, she does a lot of different things. So I think the first thing we want to do is just kind of talk about Miss Underwood as the person, and just tell us some of the different things you do.
Well, I'm a mother of 3 sons, and they're all extremely motivated and part of our community. They are in sports, and we focus on their academics, and we have a little small farm, and we have animals and things like that. We live out in the country.
Yeah, she's all the way from the big city of Normantown.
That's right.
And you've actually been in the community now for how many years?
I've been here for 10 years.
Okay, so it's official. After a decade, you are from this area.
Yes, yes. Yes.
You are also the chairman of the Vidalia City's Bureau.
Visitors, Convention and Visitors Bureau. Yes.
And you also support and play a role within the Real Squeal.
Yes, yeah, you'll see me every Real Squeal in the Kids Creative Play booth, and I have a chance to interact with the community, and that's one of the things I really, really love to do.
But the big thing that you do, your day job, is with the GED program.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, that's it's kind of an extension of what I like to do as far as in my free time. I love to give back to the community and be involved in both Lyons and Vidalia communities. But during the day, I work in the GED program, or we actually call it the HSE, High School Equivalency Program, which is a nonprofit program division of the Southeastern Technical College.
Okay. Well, I wanna kind of save the best for last, so we'll talk about the GED program shortly. But tell us more about your role as the chairman of Vidalia Visitors Bureau.
Oh, okay. Well, we just one of the really exciting things that we're doing right now is working with SCAD University, and we are remodeling the museum, it's basically, we deal with a lot of things like the PAL Theater, and it's really fun because you get to be a part of a lot of things like the Onion Festival, and I have the pleasure of working with Alexa Carter-Britton. She's our director.
Okay. Yeah.
And Michael Harden, from the PAL Theater. And it's just always super productive. I'm really fortunate.
Now, how does it benefit our citizenry to stop by the Vidalia Visitors Bureau.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to stop by and, or when people come to visit this community and, have a look through the museum, it just helps you to maybe understand more about the community and become more invested in the community. I think that's super important, which kind of goes along with what I do at the GED school, because we are kind of, helping people to become part of our community again, because and not be on public assistance and things like that. But you can give them a hand up so that they can be productive citizens. Educate them. That's very important.
In your role and in your capacity as the chairman, what exactly does that entail?
Well, I kind of a chair. I'm learning this, but a chairman is I listen and just kind of make sure that everybody keeps on time and help with voting and things like that. So and just kind of oversee the meeting.
A lot of people don't know this, but we are one of the hot spots in the state of Georgia, our region, especially with the sweet onion. About how many visitors, if you know this, Madam Chair, I'm going to put you on the spot. About how many visitors do we have come to our area, maybe on a monthly or a quarterly basis?
Yes, I would say that it is, speaking with Alexa, I would say that it is growing every year. And that we had last year people come from almost every state.
Wow.
And we are definitely becoming more and more of a hot spot, as you said, as far as visitors, coming here to this area and wanting to come here. And they're super interested in the Vidalia sweet onion.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And especially with the renovations and things we're going to be doing with the museum, I think it's just going to increase those things.
I'm always intrigued, Miss Senecca, when we have people on the show who are making their way around the community and doing so many different things, and they roll up their sleeves like yourself. You've got 3 children, but yet you're very active in the community, and it's always intriguing to me. What drives you?
That's a good question. It just started out as a hobby in a way. I think in the beginning it was more or less I wanted to meet people and find out where I live, and I'm learning more about the community, and it just kind of kept rolling on from there, just meeting people, and it feels really good to help. I always tell people, even my students that I work with now, I said, well, you may not have a job, but you can go volunteer and it may work into a job, or it gives you a good feeling to give back. And it sounds so corny, but it really is true that it gives you a good.
It's really that simple.
Yeah, it's really just that simple, and yeah.
Well, you just recently went through, is it the Greater Vidalia Leadership? See, when I went through it, it was the Toombs Montgomery Leadership. I'm kind of giving my age. We talked about this last week. Me and Robin were going back and forth about who's the age thing. But, yeah, that's how long ago it's been for me. It was the Toombs Montgomery Leadership, but now it's the Greater Vidalia Leadership.
Yes.
And when you were saying, when you went through that program, you just about knew all of the different, or the various
yeah, well, that's embarrassing.
Goings on in our community.
Well, right. I was really surprised that I had kind of, I had been involved in the Real Squeal and Tales of the Ottamaha, and a lot of the other little places that we go and visit. I knew, the PAL Theater, and just I had done and been involved and volunteered.
Wow.
At those places, and so it was really neat. It was kind of like a little capstone at the end of the work that I had already put in. So it was interesting.
Excellent.
And met some wonderful people who, I still stay in contact with. Love my classmates. Wonderful program.
Wow. So you are here in Vidalia. by way of California, by way of Oregon, by way of Hawaii. Okay, none of that is near Vidalia. So, so Vidalia is just, you just put your finger on the map.
I did. Yes,
Wow.
I did. Yes, my husband and I, yeah, he said, choose somewhere in southeast Georgia. And that's what I did.
And Vidalia just stuck out.
Yeah. Well, originally I had chosen Statesboro, but then
No comparison. No
no
comparison.
comparison.
No comparison. No place like our community.
It was meant to be.
Wow.
Yeah, I love our communities for
Super.
sure.
Super. Okay, so you've been with the GED program, and a lot of people are not familiar with that. So we no longer really call it GED. It is now called.
High school equivalency, HSE. But it's, everyone knows it as GED, but we're slowly moving the name. I think it's a really good thing because there could have been a little bit of stigma, having to do with getting your GED. And now we're changing the name, high school equivalency. There really shouldn't be any stigma. You can take that diploma to any college or university or program that you want to get into and gain admittance into that program.
So everything's changed. I mean, it is literally equivalent to a high school diploma.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
And it is accepted by most major institutions, higher learning institutions.
Definitely. Yeah.
About how many students do we have in the program now?
Just an estimate. I think we have around 200 because we've got a big campus in Swainsboro and then the one where I teach here in Vidalia and then some smaller campuses in Reedsville and some of the surrounding counties. So, and then we also serve students, and I don't know about that part of it, but we serve students in the prisons and the jails as well. And normally, if someone who is incarcerated gets their diploma, through our program, they do not reoffend. It's like 2%, I think. Our director, Miss Susan Cross, was saying they don't go back to jail once they get their diploma.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's big.
It is. It's huge. So we need to get more people. We need to get more people to get their HSE.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Miss Senecca Underwood. She is an instructor with our high school equivalency program here in our community. We want to take a break, but we want to come back and pick right back up there and kind of, talk more in detail about the need for this program and about, like you just gave us that statistic, about how powerful the program is with changing people's lives. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after these messages to continue our conversation.
We don't need a calendar to tell us that summer is here. Just go outside and you'll know it's getting hot, hot, hot. This is Anthony J. with Todd Paget Housing Center, and we're inviting you to beat the heat in one of our beautiful homes from Southern Energy Homes, Cavalier, Clayton, Deer Valley, Live Oak, or Scott Built. We build all of our homes a lot more energy efficient than they would have normally come. So stop by Todd Paget Housing Center in Claxton, Georgia, and pick out your energy savings dream home from our massive selection. Todd Paget Housing Center, all of your housing solutions under one roof.
Smarter, not harder. Here at Vidalia Federal, we are all about that phrase as we strive to make your life easier. No more drowning in paperwork or being interrogated over the idea of buying a house. Getting a home loan should be an enjoyable, simple process, not a daunting task. This is Julia McKenzie with Vidalia Federal Savings Bank, and I am here to make the mortgage process easy and simple. Come see me at the Vidalia branch on Jackson Street to talk about your next home purchase or refinance.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me get my words out. Good morning. Welcome back to this edition of Community Matters. Yes, I'm your host, your babbling host this morning, the Doc, and I'm glad to have you with us. So happy to have you every Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. A new time, new space. We have so many great people in our community, and I love introducing you to people who you may not have even heard of. Good things are happening, and we're just kind of going through our day and not in tune with, some really good things are happening in our community. And we have in our studio this morning Miss Senecca Underwood, who is our high school equivalency teacher, instructor in our community. And, this is a program where some people may find themselves having gone through different things, had to drop out of school for whatever reason, or may have medical issues, personal issues, and they can be sitting there thinking, how am I going to pick up the pieces?
Mm-hmm.
There's an option.
Yeah, definitely.
And so how would one sign up, or where would they go in order to pick back up on their education?
Yeah, if you would come to 100A Brinson Road in Vidalia, and on Wednesdays between 8:30 and 9, we will get you signed up. We are open enrollment, so you just need to come on a Wednesday and enroll. We're constantly enrolling, and we're constantly graduating students. You can go straight over to Southeastern Technical College after achieving your high school equivalency and get picked up in a program. There's financial aid available. There's such need for people to go into the workforce.
Wow.
And you normally, when you graduate from Southeastern Technical College, you will have a job even before
before you even graduate.
Yeah, and there's 92 programs across the state, and the technical colleges are amazing.
Now, the technical college is not the only route you can take with the high school equivalency.
Right. I say the sky's the limit. I always tell my students, don't shortchange yourself. You to go for what you have a passion to do.
Mm-hmm.
Reach for the stars. If there's no reason that you cannot go on to be a nurse, a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
A veterinarian, and I have some highly, highly intelligent people that come through my school, I think, that they are going to go on and just achieve amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
The sky's the limit.
So you really can go to a four-year institution. So you
Yes.
could go to, in our local area, a Bruton Parker.
Oh,
and
yes.
East Georgia College.
Yes,
You
yeah,
can go
East Georgia.
to Georgia Southern.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
University of Georgia.
Yes.
Go Dogs.
Yeah, of course, each institution has, some stipulations that you need to meet, but that would be a case-by-case
Mm-hmm.
basis, I believe. But between having a high school diploma and a high school equivalency,
Mm-hmm.
there's not a lot of difference. You can make that happen, definitely.
Excellent. So you currently have roughly 100 students.
Program-wide, I usually just, focus on my students.
Mhm.
I know personally, I have about 50 right now, and, our fiscal year just started, so we just kind of start over in July, so, by the end of the year, I don't know the actual data as far as, because we serve the prisons as well, so we've got a huge program. It's a very large program.
And as you were stating before we took a break, once those persons who have been incarcerated, they finish their GED, they have a 92% chance or thereabouts
Yeah.
of not reoffending.
That's right.
Wow.
They just don't see them back in the prisons.
That is
They
incredible.
don't. I know. It's amazing.
That's an incredible statistic that should be shouted out at the top of every mountain.
Yes, and our director, Miss Susan Cross, she's been doing this for
The great Miss Susan
the
Cross.
great Miss Susan
Yeah.
Cross. She's been doing this.
Oh,
I
really
can't
well.
imagine how many people she's helped.
Yes.
She's very passionate about
Incredible
helping
lady.
about our programs in the prisons.
Excellent. Well, you're not so bad yourself. You were just recently Teacher of the Year.
Yes, last year. Yes, I was chosen Teacher of the Year.
I
Yeah,
mean,
adult
you're
education.
being mighty modest. That probably I would have probably led out with that when I asked
Oh,
you to
no.
tell us about yourself. I would have just been like, "Yeah, you're looking at me. I'm the Teacher of the Year over here."
No, and it was a wonderful opportunity to go and for professional development. It was quite an honor. I appreciate the honor.
Wow.
And I was what I was really excited about is I had chosen a student out of my students as our adult education student of the year, and he actually through competitions, and he's just a natural, Manuel Torres.
Okay.
He made it into the top 8
Oh, wow.
out of the state. So he almost won out of the whole state of Georgia. So
Oh,
we
my
were
goodness.
really proud of him.
We've got to get Manuel on the show.
Yes, I think that would be a wonderful idea. He now, after getting his high school equivalency, he went on to work at the Hyundai plant.
Oh, wow. Which you bring a good point. You know, it just lets you know just how prevalent and how successful you can be by going through the high school equivalency program. Now, there's a huge graduation ceremony and everything.
There is. Our students, my students, they graduate right along, with everybody from Southeastern Tech.
So this is a chance where if you missed your high school graduation and all of your family screaming out your name and doing all the stuff we do at graduation.
I think it's you're decorating your cap, and I never can wait. I'm not good at waiting. So as soon as we have Miss Casey Story. She is our GED tester there at the center, and once they complete, there is 4 tests. They need to complete a math, a social studies, science, and reading language arts test.
Excellent.
And once they complete those tests, they have their GED. So anyways, their high school equivalency. And I dress them up in their cap and gown. We take pictures.
You go
I
right ahead
cannot
and
wait.
do it right
I said,
then.
you're going to graduate in May, but we're going to do this right now.
Right
so you
now.
can share it on social media. And I see it. It's really important to them.
So it really is a do-over. It's not over.
Yeah.
You can,
No.
you still get your cap and gown. You can still have the memory of walking across and getting your diploma.
And there are so many tears, there are so many tears, so much happiness, and I get to take part in a little bit of that. It's highly motivating. I love it, and just the stories, that you hear of the barriers and things that people have faced that have made it so that they couldn't graduate high school. Although our high school here graduates, I think I just read the statistic that Toombs County High School is graduating, is that 98%, 92%?
Oh my God, that's
yeah,
incredible.
they're doing amazing. But we serve students from age 16 all the way to 70. You can come
But
there.
70 is not the limit, right?
No, it's not. No, it's
There is no
I'm
limit.
thinking it's the oldest I've had as far as students, but there isn't.
Wow.
Learning is very healthy.
See that?
Yeah, learning is very healthy. So.
This is
And there's
wonderful.
a lot to learn
Wonderful.
to achieve your HSE.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it. It's not too late. If you're sitting there and you're thinking, I don't have my degree, my high school diploma, that is, it's not too late. We've got one of the best teachers in the state, or probably in the nation, Teacher of the Year.
Thank you.
We definitely have one of the best directors in Miss Susan Cross. And you can graduate and you can get your diploma. You don't have to sit there and do nothing.
No, and you can get your dream job. It's achievable.
It's
And it just takes some hard work, some dedication, consistency, and I'm here to support you. We also have an ESL program. I am the ESL teacher.
Excellent.
And so if you would like to learn English.
Tell everybody, okay, there you go. English.
If
And
you
Spanish.
if you are wanting, actually our ESL program is really growing, and I know they're seeing this in the public schools as well. I have students from China right now in
Oh,
my
wow.
ESL program, and of course Mexico. And we are able to serve those students that can't come in through Blackboard Collaborate, which is like a video conferencing platform that we use, and it's just really exciting.
So for all who are wondering, that the ESL is the English
As a
Spanish
second language.
As a second language. English as a second language. So you have people from China.
Yes, that are learning English.
Do you speak?
No, because
Chinese?
I am certified ESL teacher, so I have different strategies to
In
be able
order
to
to be able to
communicate and
communicate.
build their English skills. Now, I speak Spanish,
But you are
so
fluent in Spanish.
yes, Spanish is my second language. So with people that, speak Spanish, I'm also teaching them English. But
¿Ella habla español?
sí, habla español.
Poquito. Excellent. This is great. One last thing before we go, the collaborative blackboard. Anything you want to share about that? I just had a note here to say something about it.
Oh, yes. Well, that's how we serve students that may have barriers to coming in person. They may have, I have a lot of younger students who have new babies and they cannot come into class, but they want to work on their high school equivalency. So I'm able to meet with them, through video conference and teach them that way.
Oh, wow.
And other students, they may not have transportation, or people have work schedules. Most of my students work. They
This
do
is
work,
unbelievable.
but they want a better job.
This
They
is
don't. They want a better job.
unbelievable.
So
So there's really no excuse.
There's
if
none.
If you have a cell phone, which just about every American does.
oh, and we have apps too.
See
That
there.
you can do on you. We have a lot of. Oh, I don't want to forget about that part. So if you can't meet me online, if you can't come into class, you can still. We have different apps and things like that, and free programs for both English, as a second language, and for learning
Wow.
all the different things that you need to know to graduate with your high school equivalent.
No excuse, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, just come
And
sign
if you're
up.
sitting here and you're listening and you know someone who's just, on your couch or in your basement and they need a job, you tell them, look, you're going to get your
High school
you're gonna get
equivalency.
and there's no excuse. And here's where I want to kind of close. It is free. That's the word we
I
love
forgot to
here on-
mention that.
Oh no, it's all free.
It's free for that's why I'm there. It's free for the community. It's
Wow.
something that builds our community. Every person that I'm able to help becomes part, a constructive part of our community. It's very exciting. It's building, strengthening.
And it is proven that when you have a community that's fully educated, you have better schools, you have better jobs, low violence,
Lower
low
crime,
crime.
yes.
It's just better for all of us.
Yeah.
So I'm serious when we talk about the couch potatoes and all these other people who are sitting around, and hey, there are options, and they're free options, and they're viable options.
They are viable, very, very much so. Well said.
Thank you so much, Ms. Senecca Underwood, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity.
It's an honor and a privilege to have you. Thank you for coming in and sharing with us. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see the show again, it is archived on our website. We thank Ms. Dorothy Davis and her company for doing so. Our website is tcbbroadcasting.com. That is tcbbroadcasting.com, and you can go there and you can see the show. You can also look to see what the beautiful Miss Senecca Underwood looks like early in the morning at 8 o'clock a.m. We're so thankful for our general manager, Miss Robin Crabb, who also get up early in the morning to help make this show
Thank
a
you.
reality. Come back again on next week. I'm your host, The Doc, and we have another great show for you lined up. So I look forward to seeing you then. Everybody take care. God bless.
You've been listening to Community Matters with host Tony Doc Wardlaw, sponsored by Todd Padgett Housing Center in Claxton and by Vidalia Federal in Lyons and Vidalia. Tune in again next week to see what is happening in our community on Community Matters, a service of TCB Broadcasting.